starting to doubt we will find our way back to each other when you're on the other side of the world. I'm here and I'm waiting, but I know I can't say that we didn't end it for good reason. Still I'm hoping we'll be meeting soon. Everybody needs some time to figure themselves out, but I want you close, and I still have hope. I'm waiting every day for you to come back and tell me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. You guys are new here, welcome. Returning subscriber, welcome back to another video. Just finished my workout. The wife and I are just going on a little walk at this beautiful park here in Grand Prairie, Alberta, and the idea came to me to do a video for you guys talking about finding accommodation and finding a job in Canada. If this is a topic you're interested to learn more about, you're gonna want to watch this video. And of course, if you have somebody who's migrating to Canada, you're gonna want to send them this video as well, so they are fully equipped to migrate and to integrate the best way possible. Of course, quick introduction, my name is Dems. I'm a Jamaican who migrated to this beautiful province, Alberta, back in 2019. I came as an international student, and everything I share on this channel is Canada related, whether from my own life perspective or from an immigration perspective. So if that's the kind of content you're looking for right now, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Hit it right down below right here. Give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment. Now let's talk about it. You have gotten your approval to move to Canada, but you don't know where to start in finding accommodation. That is a common issue that a lot of persons face, and a lot of persons end up being scammed because they end up paying for an apartment, and when they get there they realize that it's just an open space, no apartments there. So how do you mitigate things like those? The first thing I'd like to say, guys, is if you're moving to a particular city, you're going to want to try to build some form of relationship with persons in that city. Now, a good way to do it is to join that city's Facebook page. So most communities in Canada have a Facebook page designated to that particular city. So you can just join that group, for example, Grand Prairie, Alberta's group, and make a public post. My name is Damar. I am moving to Grand Prairie in another couple of weeks. I'm coming as an international student. I'm coming as a temporary worker, and I'm just wondering if there's anybody who knows of any property being rented at the moment, and I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, or I'm looking for a 1-bedroom, whatever the case may be. And then that can be a good avenue for you to break into that space, right? Outside of that, you can also ask for recommendations. A lot of times when persons are moving, they don't want to do their due diligence, but do your due diligence. Ask for recommendation, and then look for reputable property management companies. So look for reputable property management companies, and actually pick up your phone and give them a call. Say, hey, I'm moving there, yada. I'm wondering if you have anything available. And that's usually a good way you can sort out your accommodations before moving to Canada. What I'd like to say is it's a lot easier in some places than others, because if you move to a populated area, of course it's going to be a lot more difficult and oftentimes impossible for you to get an apartment from outside of Canada. So it depends on where you're moving. You might be able to use some of these tips, or you might not be able to use some of these tips. But with everything, use prudence, use judgment, and try to make as many connections as possible, and that can be your gateway. The other thing I'd like to say is there's a new business that's trending right now in Canada, and it's actually a settlement services business. So you can look if there's a settlement service provider in the respective cities that you are moving to. Of course, if you're moving to Grand Prairie, that's a service that I provide, settlement services. And if you're moving to other places, there are a lot of persons who provide that kind of service. Settlement service providers actually are there to help you settle by finding an apartment for you, airport pickup, help move you around, all of the essentials that you need, especially for somebody who's moving to Canada and don't know anyone. I'd always suggest try to make contacts with a settlement service provider, and that can make your transition very easy as well. Now, before you ask, I do not provide settlement services anywhere other than in Grand Prairie, Alberta, right? So, and I do not have any connections, unfortunately, any other city, so I would not be able to help you with that. But if you're moving to Grand Prairie, of course, I am your go-to guy for settlement services here in this beautiful city of Grand Prairie. Now, finding accommodation can be a very challenging task depending on where you are moving to, but the biggest thing you want to know is that with proper preparation, you prevent poor performance. So you prepare properly and you usually get the best results, right? If you are an international student and you're coming as a single individual, no family, no spouse, no kids, just you and yourself, I always encourage international students who are by themselves to consider living on campus to save some money and to make your transition easy. So if you're an international student, contact your school and find out if they have student living arrangements that they can make, and then sign up on a wait list, because enough time these schools have like a long wait list. So sometimes you want to sign up on the wait list to make sure that by the time you are approved for your study permit or your whatever you're applying for, then you would have somewhere to live, right? And some schools, they also have connections with the community where they have partnerships with persons who have rentals, apartment buildings, stuff like that, that the student can get access to. So you want to make sure that you're communicating with your college to find out if that's something that they can do. Okay, now that's all the tips I have to share for somebody who is coming here and they're looking for an apartment outside, like before them get here, right? Now let's talk about getting a job. Now, getting a job in Canada can be a very easy or a very difficult task dependent on where you choose to settle. Now, regardless of where you choose to settle, there are some tips that can be very helpful regardless. And the first tip I'd like to share, the first tip is to make sure that you revamp your resume. Now, a resume in the Caribbean is different than a resume in Canada. You want to make sure that you're doing a Canadian style resume. Now, there's lots of format that you can use online that you can use to format your resume to a Canadian standard. And of course, if you're having issues with it, you can book a time in my Calendly and I can help you revamp your resume to meet a Canadian standard, or even do it for you. So that's a service that I also provide, or even career coaching. But the first thing you want to do is to make sure that your resume is up to standard. Also, your resume has to be specific somewhat to the job you are applying for. Now, a lot of times people who are migrating have one resume that they have a broad brush and apply everywhere possible. But a lot of employers here in Canada, what they use AI and a lot of things to vet your resume, and they're looking for keywords and for key qualities in their candidates. So you want to make sure that you are kind of revamping your resume to match the job that you're applying for. Very, very important factor, right? The second thing I'd like to say is this. Now, this is not for everybody, but for most persons. A lot of times we have expectations of getting a similar job or a comparable job to what we're already doing in our home country, or a better job. But the truth of the matter is not everybody is that lucky. Some of us has to start from just a starter kit job to make sure that we're paying our bills and putting food on the table while we work on that job that we really want. Not everybody is willing to take a step back to move 10 steps forward, but I would like to tell you guys to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, because that first Canadian experience will go a long way, and it doesn't matter where you get it, as long as you're able to put it on your resume, it will make a big difference. So be willing to take a step back to move a step further, because ultimately you're going to get that dream job and you're going to live a very comfortable life here in Canada, but be willing to go back way to go forward. And I watch no face. No matter what people have to say, you know your journey and you know why you are here and what you're working towards. Now, the other tip I would like to share about getting a job here in Canada is don't rely on online media only. Don't rely on Indeed, LinkedIn, Canadian Job Bank to just offer you a job. A lot of persons fall into the trap of just sitting around a laptop, sending out countless resumes and not getting a feedback. But the thing is, be proactive. Be proactive in ways that if you send a resume to a particular place, follow up, give them a call. Say, hey, my name is XYZ. I sent a resume. I was just wondering if you got a chance to look at it. This is my qualities. Sell yourself, because I always say, if you can't sell yourself, you can't sell nothing at all. And make sure that you are following up on those applications. Another thing I'd like to say is be prudent in going out there and looking for that job. Meaning, your foot are going to hurt you a little. You're going to go and you're going to walk and you're going to hunt it. You're going to knock on every single business that's open. You're going to go in with resume in and dress for an interview, prepared for an interview, introduce yourself and sell yourself. A lot of times that work for a lot of newcomers to Canada. It's just the proactiveness and the willingness and the confidence to go inside of a business place and make an impression will make or break you. Can determine if you get a job in a week or if you get a job in a month. So for all the newcomers who are coming to Canada, now watch no face. Be brave, be bold, be confident, and go out there and look for that job, because it's there and they want you as much as you want them. So go out there and look it and hunt it until you find it, right? When I just came to Canada, that was how I was able to get my first bank job. I wasn't relying on just looking at an Indeed post or whatever. I had to go to different places, as well as my wife, Nats. We had to go to different places and actually sell ourselves. And that's how we were able to get to our first job, right? Because we knew that we didn't have enough money to wait a month or 2 months. We had to get a job immediately. So what did we do? We put on our big boy pants and our big girl pants, and we went out there and we hunt for that job. And I would like to tell you guys that that strategy works, right? There are so many persons who have done it, and we have seen them getting lots of success from it, right? So if this video is of any value to you, please take a second to hit that like button right now. Give you guys a second. Thank you guys, really appreciate it. If you guys have any thing else to share that I haven't spoken about, any tips that you can share for persons who are coming, if you're already here and you have a tip that I didn't share, drop it in the comment section. We're all here to learn and to teach each other. So, you know, drop it in the comment section so other persons can learn different ways of doing things. And if you're here to the end of this video and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting on? It's free. And it costs you nothing. It's barely a second. Hit on the subscribe button. Really helps me out. And if you really want to support me, guys, hit on that share button. If you know somebody who's struggling in adjusting to a Canadian migration, if somebody's in the process of moving to Canada and they don't know where to start, send them this channel, send them this video, and encourage them to subscribe as well. And if you guys have a video in mind that you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section, right? I'll end it right here right now. Until next time, guys, see you guys in the next video.